Yo guys, let's go. Let's go. Welcome Simone, Egg Baron. Welcome in. Welcome in first indeed. The stream is up. We've got our tweet here. Also post to the Discord. Let's do that too and let our Discord bros know we're going. How is everybody doing? How is everybody doing? We'll just copy the tweet text. Boom. Sent. Awesome. Cool. Okay, guys. Guys, we're here. Let me just turn down the music a little. Okay, that is the one feature I had pre-set up here. A dampener for the audio, the music, so that it'll like kind of soft mute it when I'm talking, and then kind of return, so I hear it steadily, which is nice and comforting to me. Very cozy. Guys, let's take advantage of that cozy feeling. We're coming off a really nice play from last week. We had a threefer on a bold move, okay, and I'm hoping to maintain some level of momentum here. Okay, good feelings. We want to start the stream off right. Let's start with Steel. Steel, S-T-A-L, nothing. Powerhouse group of letters there. And we strike out. We strike out. So I think maybe going double. If we want to get double vowels, I'd like to try to get the vowels first if possible. We can do like group, get the R and the P in there too. Okay, just the O. Probably an I in there, or I mean, I can be in there. We don't want to, can't eliminate that. Like coin. Podcast Network, GSG Live, Canopus, welcome in. We're just firing up our brains, limbering up a little bit, as we like to say, with some daily games. We are gonna have guest Carrad Williams on the stream for the first time. I'm pretty pumped. Boink, boink. Oh, all right. Well, that would get the I in there. It would get us another position on the O and get us two letters we don't have. We're going for boink. Okay, at least we've got the O. We positioned the N. We eliminated the I. This is looking a little grim. We need a triple consonant ending like conch, or it's gonna be like a sound, right? CH. I feel like like rowdy, Audi, OWDY. No, howdy, howdy, right? We can't eliminate the sometimes Y here, right? I like howdy. Oh, okay. All right. Well, this is something. This is something. We've done a ton of work on the consonants. We've done a ton of work on the consonants, and we positioned the Y. We eliminated the H, so the C is probably not in here. Probably two Z's, right? Trying to think. Fozzie? Not cozy. I don't know what I'm looking at here, guys. Ooh, 2 O's, right? Ooh. Woozy? No. Something, blank OOZY. Koozie. Could it be koozie? Right? Koozie's a word, isn't this? This is how you would spell koozie. We would get the extra O guess. We'd get the Z. And we haven't guessed a C, so why not, right? Is this... I think it's koozie. Oh, it's with a K? Oh, man. I thought it was with a C. I don't want... we don't have the luxury to just go for it, do we? Why not, right? Not on the word list. Okay, well that's why you go for it, right? I guess if it isn't a word, it isn't a word. You haven't, yeah, you know, you haven't thrown anything away. Is anything else oozy, moozy, juicy, zoozy, foozy? No, I don't think so. Probably the double O probably isn't what we're looking for. Zoomy. Zoomy? Ah. Oh. we get an M. We get an M. No double O. Comfy. No. Cough me? No. Comfy. Almost. What am I looking at? 2 M's? Like Tommy? Fommy? Vommy? Mommy. No. Yo, that would be diabolical. But it looks right. Oh, a miracle! A miracle egg baron to save the day, to keep the streak alive. It says I've only got a 1 current streak. Does that mean you have to like do it daily to maintain a streak? I'm pretty sure the last one I did was last week when we got it in 3. Let's go for real, egg baron. That was dope, dude. That was a big save. Anything that has a triple letter in it is real. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. And for you to pull that out, I'm not sure I would have gotten there. You know what? I might have. I was thinking double MY. I didn't see it though. I didn't see it. I don't know if I would have saw it at all. Saving the day in our Wordle. Let's go. Let's go onward. Let's see if the magic continues here, and we're ultra zoomed in to a war scene. It looks like explosion at a base. It looks pretty modern. Probably like Gulf War, Iraq War era. Like I think is like a safe range. Maybe like Jughead. Jarhead. Oh my god. That looks a little old school. This helicopter looks a little old school. Maybe like oh, what was the one with Ice Cube? And George Clooney. Was that Three Kings? Is that Three Kings? I think that's Three Kings. Where it's like a comedy heist during the... Was it the Gulf War? It might have been. Nope. Okay. We got... Is that Denzel? We know we have Matt Damon. Who is this here? That's not Denzel. I don't know what this is. An army movie with a young Matt Damon. Not Saving Private Ryan. It's modern. What are we looking at here? Three Kings. I thought that was a pretty good guess. I'm surprised I don't know whatever Matt Damon movie this is. Green Zone? Green Zone. Not on their list. So sometimes you get bailed out by Framed. Not every movie is on here. Courage Under Fire, Simone! Simone with the save. Oh my God, that's Simone's music as she comes running down the ramp to choke slam the Undertaker. Simone in the chat. Courage Under Fire. That is correct. Boom, boom. Guys, I'm being saved by chat today. I'll tell you what. The assists by chat. Where are we here? Daily games. Simone, who are you in the are you in our Discord? I gotta give you credit. Credit for that. Saved by Simone. I would ping you in here. Yes, yes. Saved by Simone. Awesome. You guys are putting in work today in the chat. I gotta tell you, I'd be in trouble if you guys weren't here making a fool of myself on these on these games. Courage Under Fire. I don't remember this movie, and it was Denzel. I don't remember this movie. Is this one that I need to go back to? Is this like a really bad blind spot? I don't know. Let's see. Courage Under Fire. Meg Ryan. Okay. Let's check it out on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. 6.6 on IMDb. Let's see what Rotten Tomatoes has. An 80. Okay, 6.6 in line on the popcorn, the audience side. 86% on the critic side. I'm stunned. I don't remember this. Courage Under Fire. An emotional, intriguing tale of a military officer who must review the merits of a fallen officer while confronting his own war demons. Effectively depicts the terrors of war as well as its heartbreaking aftermath. Okay, I might need to revisit this. Brunette Meg Ryan. Okay, all right. And let's see what's next. Should we text? Oh no, the movie pyramid. Movie pyramid. Comedy with Will Ferrell. Okay, that's a really easy one, huh? All right. Now we need to be thinking we need to be thinking about maybe his lesser named comedies. More obscure things. But his stuff is all big. Ooh, we do the one. I feel like this went under the radar with Kevin Hart. Get Hard. I feel like that's 2%. That's a good one. That's the level we want right there. 2%. This movie is like it's exactly what you would expect it to be, and I felt like it was pretty good for that. Right. I enjoyed it. I liked it. A lot of quotable moments. I think it's kind of easy to dislike the concept of this sort of buddy comedy, but I had a lot of fun with it. I think a little on the underrated side. Let's see more stuff with you get your old schools, maybe like Talladega Nights, Anchorman. Maybe we like Blades of Fury, right? The figure skating one. What else? What are some? I feel like those will be fairly highly guessed. Old School will be right up there. Ooh, we should do ones where he's cameoing, like Zoolander and the sequel, Zoolander 2. Yes. Yes, look at that. 1.6. 1.6. I guess Zoolander will probably be higher, the first one, but I guess it'll also still be. Oh, no. I've got an even better one. Is Austin Powers. Austin Powers. He gets burnt. he gets dumped, ejected out of his seat at the what is this character's name? And he's in both. He has great scenes in both where he dies like a painful, slow, Rasputin-like death. The first one, boom, let's go. 1.4%. 1.4%. He's in the second one too. That's which is the first and which is the second? The Spy Who Shagged Me is the second, right? International Man of Mystery is the first. That's the way it looks. All right, let's do this one. Let's go. The sequel down to 1%. What a series here. I'm super proud of myself for this. That's nice. If we kept going, maybe we could have done better. The cameos. That's where it's at. Okay, 1980 to 2010, Michelle Pfeiffer. Okay. All right, one of my favorites. She wasn't she the teacher in Dangerous Minds? Right? She's the substitute. It was that the Coolio one, right? Gangster's Paradise, I think was the big one for Dangerous Minds. Yes, let's go. Okay, Michelle Pfeiffer. This one I feel like I feel like this one's pretty easy to settle for the big ones. So I can't go without seeing Michelle Pfeiffer's name without instantly thinking of the 8 Mile reference, right? She's referenced heavily in the that 8 Mile track by Eminem. Catwoman in Batman Returns. Scarface. I feel like those will probably be the top 2, right? I'm trying to think of, she was in like super series of like what seemed like direct to VHS type movies. She was a star, but maybe we could do the same cameo thing with her because she was in Ant-Man and the Wasp, right? The second one. Was she also in Endgame? Did they disappear at the end of Endgame? Does that count? Oh, what movie was it? Where in the bonus scenes, like, there's the scene where they send Ant-Man into the quantum realm in a movie. I think it was this one. And then at the bonus scene in maybe Endgame, you see that they get dusted while he, like, immediately after he gets sent into the quantum realm. That's a good question. Okay, Scarface, Batman. I know that she was in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I would love to be able to get what the other cameo one was, whether that was Endgame. I don't know how many points you lose when you get a wrong guess. You have so many guesses to guess, but I don't know if that affects your end score. All right, let's do Ant-Man and the Wasp. She was definitely in Quantumania too. We'll just guess both of those. We're just gonna do both of those. She wasn't in the second one? What? Ant-Man. That's wrong. What is happening? Oh, I'm such an idiot. To 2010. I'm just thinking Michelle Pfeiffer. I just threw away 2 guesses. Oh. Oh my goodness. We're gonna have to stick with the big ones. Batman and Scarface. Those are definitely 80s for Scarface, 90s for Batman. Batman Returns. Yes. God damn, 20%. And then Scarface. Right? God damn. Yeah, I'm losing a ton of points, but I can't lose any more guesses. 12, that's not as much as I thought it would be. That's like the first one. I thought of Dangerous Minds. I felt like that was like a big one for Michelle Pfeiffer as the lead. 2-word title and Ewan McGregor. So I just saw a clip of one that I feel like will be good, and it's great because they don't exclude the island. This one did not do great. It's kind of like a middling movie, fun premise with Scarlett Johansson. 8%. Wow, that's way more than I thought it would be. Okay, so there's Trainspot. It's like he's been in so many movies. Are people not gonna guess, his like biggest early splash in Trainspotting? Or should I guess something that might just get lost in the shuffle? And I'm trying to think if he's done any. I guess the two-word title is an interesting limiter here. We've got The Island. None of the Star Wars stuff are two-word titles. And Trainspotting is one word. Ewan McGregor. I don't feel like he's done a lot of cameos. He's been in a ton of stuff. Dr. Sleep. That I actually rewatched not too long ago. I had a really funny conversation about Dr. Sleep. I liked the book. I didn't realize how well regarded the movie was. I did not like Dr. Sleep. I was a big fan of the book and didn't enjoy the movie. And then I was stunned to see. Let's throw Dr. Sleep in there. Doctor Sleep. Okay, I can live with that. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. I want to see what's going on with Dr. Sleep. If I were to have guessed after seeing this movie, I would have guessed like a critic score, like teetering on Rotten, like 60-65%. And based on what I hear about the audience score, I would guess that's probably closer to 80, which is a number that I was surprised to, like, let's see. Wow. Everything's a lot higher than I thought it was. I was just kind of like, thought scene for scene, I thought it was very pretty, but I don't feel like the story and especially the characters, I don't think that they were fleshed out. I thought the scenes were well shot and like were very cool rendition of it. I just didn't feel like the story like flowed. I felt like it was herky jerky, and I'm really surprised how at these numbers, these Rotten Tomato numbers. Moulin Rouge. Yeah, that one probably would have been higher guessed than Doctor Sleep. Definitely more guessed than The Island, right? Well, I guess we'll see. I would guess Moulin Rouge would be right up there. Obi-Wan, does Dashes count? And that's a TV show, so that wouldn't count anyway. Lady Gaga, 3 or more word title. All right. Lady Gaga, the Joker sequel is getting trashed big time, guys. I enjoyed the Joker. I thought, I probably would have put it at like a 7.5. Like I really liked it. I thought it was very interesting. I thought the performances were very strong. And then I'm not shocked that they fumbled the sequel. It's like this movie didn't need a sequel and seemed a little forced. I don't know if anybody else has seen it. I've not seen it yet. But that's like the idea. When I heard that they were coming out with a sequel, I was like, oh no. And then I heard it was a musical, and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of interesting. Like maybe they've got a concept that'll, they'll produce something that is original and feels as fresh as the first. But it's not being received that way. Big stinker. Lady Gaga, I guess we could guess this one, right? Joker Folie à Deux is a 3 or more word title. She was in that one with Bradley Cooper, where she's a singer. What else has Lady Gaga been in? What other movies has Lady Gaga been in? A Star is Born. If you take Lady Gaga in, is there some sort of concert movie? That's a great one. That's a great idea. Yeah, look at that. She's been in these. Lady Gaga in the Muppets Holiday Spectacular, right? We got to go with this one. Which one do you think is guessed most? The Lady Gaga iTunes Festival 2013. My favorite. iTunes Festival. Let's go. Yay! 0.7%. This is why 6 Oscars, top 14% of players today. Guys, we nailed it. It doesn't seem like they take points away when you flub guesses. The Michelle Pfeiffer Ant-Man guesses totally cost me guesses, but not points, apparently. Yo, that logic. You see the big brain here? That, like, Max coming in and thinking with the brain here, put us over the top and get us into top 14% for the day. We're going to show results. Let's, oh wait, is there not a copy for this? There is. Copy results. Okay. A Star is Born. Overwhelming. That's what you get. You fall into the trap. Oh, T2 Trainspotting. I completely forgot they made a sequel. But whenever you get, especially like LeBron James, you get someone who just all of a sudden develops a small acting career, you're going to get a lot of high percentage guesses like that one. Moulin Rouge, not a shocker at 22%. Didn't come to mind for me, but obvious. And then Train Spotting, T2 Train Spotting. Interesting that's considered a two-worder as well. Batman, Scarface, Grease 2. Interesting. And then yeah, Step Brothers didn't come to mind. One of my favorite top favorite comedies ever. Huge fan of Step Brothers. And then I'm a little surprised that, yeah, I guess it makes sense. He wasn't the lead in Old School, right? So that was probably closer to like 5%, I guess. I guess my mind went there. Score history, that's our best score yet. That's our best score yet. Great work. Great work. And let's see. Movie Pyramid. Let me see. I haven't jumped on here in a minute. Now in theaters, Terrifier is 85%. What? Terrifier 3. Simone, I gotta have you in. I know you want to talk about The Substance, which I would love to talk about. I know Rachel also has thoughts on The Substance. I would love to get your take also on Terrifier, the whole Terrifier series. I heard it's right. The Terrifier series gets its claim to fame from making like so gross it makes people sick. Every time I hear someone mention Terrifier, somebody threw up in their lap in the opening scene. Nasty. Yeah, people storming out. They were so stunned at how gruesome it was. The Wild Robot cleaning up. My daughter went to a birthday party at the theater, saw The Wild Robot. Everyone was raving about it. Really depressing. 33% for The Joker. The Apprentice, okay, doing well. Transformers 1, I have to see. I heard someone complain that the marketing was a nightmare for Transformers 1. I didn't really dig into it, but worth taking a look because people love it. I'm getting the same vibes as the last Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, which I think is good company to be mentioned in. Hocus Pocus re-release, awesome. Megalopolis, Yikes. All the memes for Megalopolis. And then let's wrap up our dailies today with a little contexto. Let's go with food. I've had a rough time with contexto. Continue without supporting us. Sorry about that. We still got the ads up. Food, water, home. No, earth. We're just guessing broadly. Things, work, animal, outside, nature, world, no, tree. Okay, outside, maybe like sky, weather. No, okay. All right, so for those that are wondering what the hell is going on, Contexto chooses a random word every day, and we kind of play hot and cold with what words, trying to guess the word of the day. Outside is 38 words away from the word, according to an AI. So you just try to get closer and closer and closer until you get it. World is too far to consider building off of. Outside is way up there. I guess let's guess inside and see how far away that is. It's closer than all the rest, so that's interesting. Maybe like vacation or travel. Okay, vacation is far away. Travel is not. Oh, I guess still pretty far. Travel, outside, drive. Let's see, street or city, building, road, street, sidewalk, walk, drive. I guess drive. Street, outside, walk. Okay, maybe like path, No. Avenue. Bridge. No. Street, outside, walk. Maybe run or jog. Exercise. No. Bike. Car. Boat. Plane. Fly. Street and outside. Street and outside. Maybe crowd or yo, crowd out of nowhere. Look at that. That was a little like half court shot. 34 guesses. Holy, look at that. Crowd. Street, outside. Makes a lot of sense. Boom. Sometimes it just falls into your lap. Sometimes it just falls right into your lap. Boom. Boom. Okay, guys. Okay, we're all limbered up. We're all limbered up. What is everybody chatting about today? Oh, the New York Jets fired their head coach. I'm a big Patriots fan. Everybody, the internet is alive with Aaron Rodgers, Robert Saleh of the Jets. I could go into that at length. I think the second most enjoyable thing as a football fan for the New England Patriots, as rooting for the Patriots, is rooting against the Jets. So I'm just having a lot of fun with that on the side. Gaming or gaming news? Let's just run over to gaming. Until Dawn's PS5 debut, 28% weaker than Sony's 2024 disastered Concord? No way. Concord did it like so bad. So bad. They spent a crazy amount of money and there were only like a few hundred people playing it. Like, I think it might had hit 1,000 at one point. What is going on here? What is happening here? Because this would be another like catastrophic flop. Came at the same time as Dead Rising and Silent Hill 2 remakes, which I am crazy big on Dead Rising. Those were better reviewed and more anticipated too. Ever since it was announced, something seemed off about it. %28 smaller. Oh my gosh. The horror game saw 98.5% fewer players than The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Yikes. To trail behind a remaster by 98.5% is stunning. Small pool of PS5 players could be down to the lack of marketing. So competing against other Sony titles coming out that maybe internally it's not being marketed well. Like, I think when challenging the marketing of a game by a big entity like Sony, they have a platform where they can deliver this to the front page of every PS5 console in the world. So I would imagine that if they were just considered lower priority for whatever reason, not marketing relevant compared to what were the other two games? Dead Rising is not a Sony title, but I think is on PS5, and Silent Hill definitely. It might have just considered smaller potatoes. Until Dawn PS5 player count is one of the worst debuts for a Sony game in quite some time. Regardless, we still think Until Dawn deserves a spot on our best horror games on PS5 list. Wow. Wow. Okay, is it here? Killer Clowns. Until Dawn is number 6 on this dude's list. What? What? Best horror games on PS5. Wow. So the game is good. Like, people didn't like Concord because they thought the argument was that it wasn't good. Resident Evil, Alan Wake 2, Dead Space. Conversation about Dead Space, I think I was having with Rachel Chris playing Dead Space and loving it. I would love to play Dead Space on stream. What an awesome, and then we get that awesome overlap, guys. This needs to be a thing. Simone, I need to get Simone in here to play some horror titles. Oh my gosh. Your Dead Spaces, Devour, right? What else? Phasmophobia, right? Some awesome horror titles. I would love to get Simone's take. Alien Isolation, obviously. Okay. And with the Until Dawn PS5 upgrade confirmed, real and on its way, we think there's still much to be said for the original PS4 version. Action be choppy at times. So whether it's a PS4, we recommend inducing QTE anxiety by playing this one soon. So I don't know, maybe they're waiting on the PS5 Pro to boost this. Perhaps. That is just like stunning to see it be that bad. Especially if it's considered good. Let's see, Metacritic. This is just one guy's take. Let's see, Until Dawn. So the remake is just like not doing it for people. 4 points less, although generally favorable. Okay, so this looks like an issue that like Sony is going to be mired with for a while. It's still one of the most beloved horror productions even after 10 years, and it deserves its fame. But they just didn't have enough value to justify the remaster. Is that what we're saying? Maybe when we see it on the PS5 Pro, maybe it'll be clearer to us. I've been skeptical from the jump about the $800 upgrade being anywhere near worth it. Since the PlayStation 2, Sony has provided like dubious value for their consoles. They're very pricey. Like not just the console itself, but the price to own the console, everything when you can, all things considered. Very interesting. Disappointing. Hopefully with the PS5 Pro, it finds its niche. But might be emblematic of an issue not dissimilar to the, like, you don't see a lot of remasters. I suppose if it, like Jaws remastered, you get like a 4K rendition, and maybe on an anniversary you'll see classic movies come back. But it feels like they do this with games on a way faster scale, right? A shorter scale. Or shorter timeline, maybe I should say. So like Jaws, you'll see 40th anniversary, or a re-release of Aliens, alongside the new one. Was it Romulus? They're doing them at 10 years now, when it's like, did we really need this remaster? And then is the remaster even good? Like, is that enough time to provide enough head start for the hardware that it makes redoing the game worth it at all? That might be worth looking at a side by side, but it is like not entirely dissimilar from the craze of sequels and remakes on the Hollywood side. This one I heard Karen talking about, mentioned in the Slack. Let's watch the trailer. I know nothing about this. I've not heard about it. And Karen's the first one to bring it up. Monster score. Monster score. Let's see what that. Let's watch this together, guys. Let's watch this together. Maybe Karen and I can talk a little bit about it on stream. Let's see what this is about. Ooh, I gotta.
It's a story about a world very different from ours.
'Tis a world where all people are equal and no conflict exists, much like the world His Highness once dreamt of.
To put it another way, this is a fantasy.
Persona.
The fool of a king is dead.
Without an heir to wear the crown, what will become of the royal magic?
The fortress at the border was raised by a human mere days ago. You can only blame your king's weakness. Who deserves his crown? A man of proven strength.
The people of my land desire a new king, and I shall provide.
Welcome one and all to the inauguration of the tournament for the throne.
Small wonder when any among the populace might be king.
Their speeches of tribal harmony mean nothing, when every day they...
This is beautiful.
It tells of a world united as one tribe.
If only our lives were anything like the world in your novel.
Our lives are decided at birth by tribal purity, or by the differences that make us who we are.
There was a plot in his life. One I wish I'd written out sooner. You're no ray of hope.
You gave up on your hopes, but I will not.
Now let's see what manner of story you'll weave.
This is giving big, like, Attack on Titans vibes to me, right? Clearly Persona inspired. Metaphor Re Fantasio. I think I'm saying that correctly. Wow. That was, that's wild. That is wild. It looks like heavy on the visuals there, like the cinematics, right? Really cool, really cool. But giving me very big, dramatic in scale, similar to what I felt with like Attack on Titan. If you guys have seen that, it's essentially a Persona game set in a fantasy universe, and one of the best games this year has to offer. Wow, very well said. Can understand that. Rather than revolutionize the Persona 5 formula, Metaphor refines it to offer a memorable and addictive journey that is so hard to let go of the controller. In this Baroque fantasy universe, Metaphor still stands out from its predecessor by the richness of its gameplay. Its original artistic direction, that's what's immediately apparent, is like really strong emphasis on excellent art, dramatic cinematics, and its more political message than ever. But above all, the new title from the Hoshino Sojima Meguro trio looks like the culmination of the Persona formula, with its mastery of rhythm and its additions of comfort of life, such as its real-time combat. Very cool. Yeah, the real-time combat, I think, will probably broaden the appeal of this pretty significantly. Here, let me turn the music back on. Here's silence for the first time in a minute. Wow, very cool. So I saw Karen mention this. Where's that? I'll have to poke Karen to see what his thoughts were. Why he mentioned it and I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Played the demo of this and it was incredible. Anybody else picking it up? Yeah, the future of RPGs. Wired loves it. Wired really loves it. Let's see. Oh no. Paywall. Never mind. Bail. I don't know if anybody else does that the way I do. Right when I hit paywall. Nope. It's over. Never mind. Welcome into the Discord, Taylor. Just a minute ago, Taylor. Maybe if you're watching. Welcome into the Discord. Let's see, is okay, yeah, so that popped up here. Silent Hill 2 generally favorable. Sparking Zero, I'm a big Dragon Ball fan. I've never really gotten into the games. I've been blown away by their last fighting title. Is this just the month of anime? Is anime gonna dominate the gaming world for a little bit? Sick. Ooh.
Before my power, I'll show you the horrors of hell. Now perish along with this planet!
Let's go. This looks dope too. Now, one thing I lose in there is like, what is the style of this game? What kind of game is this? I haven't seen it played. It's essentially everything I want in a Dragon Ball game. There's more than enough content to keep you busy at launch, but it's exciting to think what Spike Chunsoft will add down the road. For coverage on Dragon Ball, if you stay tuned here. Okay, a little bit of an ad there. Thrilling fights, but it has a just disjointed story mode. Action fighting series. Fight with Goku and friends, take down evil aliens, destroy androids. Does it play? Let's check out a live stream of Sparking Zero. I'm just curious.
I think Solar Flare, for instance, is still slept on, even though Q did a tournament yesterday. I don't see anyone talking about Solar Flare other than Q. Oh yeah, this is the one where...
I really want to see what this looks like.
Raccoon, why? Raccoon has for one bar he can get armor, so like super armor, and he has an explosive ultimate. So, which does a ton of damage. So you get people's backs and explosive right away. Plus you have armor, so you have a very easy way to go into sparking mode.
So it looks like he's playing like a story mode.
Like that. So you have a very easy way to go into sparking mode, and then you have...
Online tournaments, also Vegeta story mode.
Basically 3 ults. Anyway, they want me to do ultimates in this one. Because they have a ton of health. As you can see, Raditz has a ton of health, way more than he should. So they just want me to do Cyberman bombs.
So is he playing with a controller? I'm really curious. It's like, it looks beautiful, but I'm not sure.
Most ultimates are not. In fact, I don't know if any ultimates are unblockable. No one's gonna believe me, but Kakonsa S tier? Yeah, I'm not gonna believe you.
Yeah, I'm really curious as to how this actually plays. I don't know. It doesn't, because it's like, I understand the mechanics of a Mortal Kombat. It's like this.
I mean, if you have your back turned to the character, yes, you can't block behind you.
I have to watch a little bit more of this to get my mind around what is actually happening, what it takes to like.
Yes. You think Spirit Bomb is unblockable? We can test it. Vegeta has no idea where the fuck I am. Oh god. Alright, GG. Jiren's 2. I think Broly has 1. Okay.
All right. Okay. So it's this is a conversation I think worth having. Is these games are so hugely cinematic. Silent Hill 2, like, all these games are dope cinematic experiences, right? This is a movie. Okay. I'm like, there's no Terrifier of the game. Okay, here we go. So I didn't realize Metacritic did anything outside of games. I guess I'm seeing that now. Movies and TV shows. Until Dawn, we saw this. Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. I'm so glad that it's like, I can't be into Diablo anymore. It's just too much of a time sink. Too dangerous, too appealing. Parcel Core, Kill Knight. Oh, Kill Knight. I've seen a bunch of people play this. It's like the isometric, vampires like roguelike in the Vampire Survivors style, but like or genre, but like styly, very almost like Blade-y, but reminiscent, like bullet hell and Vampire Survivors like mechanics. So maybe like Hades, probably closer in comparison to Hades. Very cool. I saw people were vibing on this. I think I saw Thor vibing on Kill Knight. And I want to try this. What is it on? Ooh, this would be one I would love to have on the Switch. Let's see. Nintendo Switch Kill Knight release. Kill Knight for Nintendo Switch. Okay, you can play it now on Nintendo Switch. It's already released, it says. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out Kill Knight. I might spring for that $15. This just I am super into the genre right now. I was ripping through Blasphemous 2, which I think feels very similar stylistically, but is kind of more classic platformer. I think the vibe of Kill Knight might do a better job holding my attention. Honestly, Blasphemous has been a lot of fun, super cool, very pretty game, super well written, like very interesting, and is really probably for me as someone that likes all that wild art and loves the dark tone of the game. It feels to me it kind of plays like a cozy game to me. It's hard as hell, but kind of plays a little cozy. Kill Knight feels a little bit more intense, kind of the bullet hell style to it. Very cool. And then I think I want to say we got about 13 minutes before we bring in at 1:30. I'm going to have Carrot Williams on. We got a lot to talk about. I think the how we feel about, again, Diablo cinematics, guys. Cinematics. Metaphor, Dragon Ball, Silent Hill, and Diablo. Diablo is a franchise that has incredible cinematics. How relevant are cinematics? I know it's kind of like a mix. That's kind of like a topic that you get some players that are just, it doesn't matter the game. It doesn't matter how good the cinematics are mashing buttons to get past them. I'm going to save my thoughts to chat to Carrot about that. I think that's a nice little interesting thought piece to hear what Carrot's take is on that. As a writer, director across mediums, wow, how do we feel about great games that are almost driven by cinematics? And then I saw Mario Party Jamboree. I'm a big Mario Party guy. I felt like the last Mario Party was a pretty big letdown. One that didn't have online play at launch, if I remember correctly. And then it took them forever to get it. It was something they promised, and it took forever to come. Brothership, Mario and Luigi Brothership. What is this? Okay. Game I did not hear about and does not dazzle me. I mean, they don't really include a lot in there, and that's like a teaser trailer. Upcoming stuff. Marvel Rivals. Does this have an what is this official launch date? December 6th. The potential Overwatch killer. This I'm really interested, like case study wise. Okay, like how we've seen IP carry, build franchise carry. Right, Marvel is that story that like, but I guess in the post Endgame, Infinity War saga world that Marvel has been struggling. I guess like their struggle is something to like a decent problem to have. They're still printing money, but how we've seen how it is answered on the both the like B-side movie side with the way Marvel has approached your Doctor Strange, your Ant-Man, your lesser popular heroes, pursuing movies, sequels, your She-Hulks, Daredevils. The prevailing thought seems to be like is there a waning in people's appetite for the superhero genre in general? Is this a Marvel problem? Are people tired with it? Are we not evolving fast enough? Or is it like too small potatoes? I don't know. I don't know if, and I think Marvel Rivals could like be a factor in how we determine this next chapter for Marvel. If you're not familiar, it's I think it's, I don't know if it's 5v5 or 6v6.
Team to win this one. Pick your hero. Get ready. Go.
By the Vishanti, Strange is here.
So should immediately look to you guys like Overwatch.
It's nano time.
You got Hulk, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Loki, Black Panther, Spider-Man.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Groot?
Join together!
Is that Aquaman?
I'm everywhere.
Loki?
Your powers are mine! Tremble before us!
Cool.
Dark child!
Rocket? Oh, that's cool. Team up. That's pretty cool. So you get like the IP, right? We understand the implications. Magic. But I'm concerned, right? It's we saw with Justice League that IP can only bring you so far. The game itself has to be really good, right? And the same issue with Concord is the 5v or 5v5, whatever, 6v6, whatever it is the Overwatch style third-person shooter overdone. We already have a free one that's been done to death. Its popularity waning. Right, Overwatch player count. Can we see this over time? Is it on Steam? Was Overwatch on Steam? Let's look at the past year. Increasing, interesting. Okay, so still not crazy numbers. Max. Okay. Yeah. And then let's see. Marvel Rivals. This has only been beta so far. So yeah, we won't see the numbers here. How does this compare to a game like Apex Legends? Okay, so not even close. Not even close. At its height, it's where Apex is at its bottom. Declining, but still 250,000. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's the weeks. Yeah, that we're not anywhere near the same level. So this could be the Overwatch killer. It really could be. 2 months, and then I guess we'll see. But I think that this brings up a lot of interesting questions about how far IP can get you, and perhaps this gives us a certain level of like control, because the genre, it's almost like a sterile environment. These sort of like team-based third-person shooters, we know what it is. It's hyper simple. I feel like, almost like reskinning Overwatch is like, okay, here's a game that does it. Here's what tanks look like over there. Let's do something a little bit different, have its own feel, and make it fit within the universe of Marvel. That there's only so much that can go wrong as far as getting the gameplay right and making the game at least having a floor of how, the gameplay, how fun it is, so that people that are super into the IP and maybe people that are tired of Overwatch, that this will give them that like escape hatch. That's what I'm guessing they're just going to bank this on. Other people that are super into the genre will give it a try. The game will be good enough, propped up by the IP, that this could be considered a relative success. This is all about like market share, really, when you think about it. The percentage of people that are going to approach this game and play it is probably fixed within the genre. Is the IP enough to get people outside the genre to fall in love with it? Very interesting. Very interesting. We'll have to wait till we see like first reviews. I don't think the initial beta is enough to extrapolate. I know Baldur's Gate has had a bunch of updates. Erdtree, this is just overall best games. Astrobot, love to see how well Astrobot has done. For platformers on PlayStation, like a pretty big deal. The meta nature of how they reference their other titles, I think it's like a super cute moment for Sony to play to that wholesome side, the wholesome audience that Nintendo has had like a stranglehold on forever. Love to see that. Very cool. Our jumping off point was Reddit. Until Dawn brought us all the way over there. Let's see. And we got 3 minutes to Karen Williams joining us, guys. I mentioned it, and now we've got a bunch of people jumping back in, waiting on bated breath for Karen to join us. Karen is coming from another meeting, so I'm gonna get the link up and ready. I'm going to get the link up and ready so that we can get Carrot in right when he's available. Let's create a room. Copy link. We'll share this with Jared. And we'll get Carrot in, and then I'll just have to set this up. Once Carrot jumps in, we'll just do a little tweaking on our side, and then we'll switch over scenes. Let's see, I think we got one guest set up over here. Browser. Properties. Yes, and once Carrot joins up, then we'll be able to pipe that in. Awesome. All right. In the meantime, Carrot will just surprise us here on the audio side. I'll throw him into that window in the top left-hand corner. We got the Nintendo alarm clock before GTA 6. Another headache for Ubisoft, which has been getting dumped on the last couple weeks. Oh my gosh, it's been brutal. The New York Jets of the video game world. Oh my gosh. Here's another headache for Ubisoft. Lawsuit alleges it allegedly shared Ubisoft Store customer data with Meta. Oh no. Oh no. Not even like data breach is a nightmare, but like selling data is especially egregious, right? I think people are a little bit more willing to forgive the the blundering mistake rather than the devious. We're actually profiting. The customer is the product. The data is the product. Gives everyone the ick. So gross, Ubisoft. Hopefully that's not true. Roblox accused of massively inflating user stats and fostering hellscape for children. Yo. Okay, that second part doesn't. Fostering hellscape for children and scathing report. Who wrote this report? This is an IGN article. Tens of millions of users of all ages have safe and positive experience on Roblox. Company said Roblox takes any content or behavior on the platform that doesn't abide by its standards extremely seriously. Wait, on its investor refuting the Hindenburg research report. Okay, so is this like an independent? I mean, Roblox is huge. I'm not surprised it's getting like third-party interest. Calling the financial claims misleading and asserting safety and civility have been foundational to Roblox since its inception. This is from Driving Civility and Safety for All Users. I don't care to hear Roblox. Where is this report? Okay, here we go. Roblox Corporation stocks dipped on Tuesday after a new report from investment firm, Hindenburg Research, accused it of deliberately inflating its daily active user stats and fostering what described as an X-rated pedophile hellscape for children. Yikes. Holy. Oh, it's in the title. Holy, that is gnarly, okay? Jeez Louise. Roblox is a $27 billion online gaming platform headquartered in San Mateo. The company was incorporated in 2004 and is led by founder and CEO David Baszucki. It's reported net losses since becoming a public company. Losses totaling $1 billion. Its stock trades at 8.5 times sales, a 57% premium to gaming peers. Pricing and expectations of rapid future growth and profitability. It is massive, right? Almost all these live service games, it's all about user count. So I guess it depends on how much they've been fibbing. Insiders have cashed out 1.7 in stock. Insiders have sold 150 million in stock. Is this article the reason they've seen the dip? It's only a day old. Let's see what the stock looks like. We're all over the place. Roblox, not Robux. Stock. So right here, this is where we saw the blip, but it's jumped right back. Okay. So that was a steep decline. That's like a 10% drop. But bounced right back in a matter of 2 hours. and is higher now. So let's see. Almost at an all-time high a couple weeks ago. And then did that. I'm curious if this is a product of like a report of like user report here. And I wonder if they referenced it. Let's see. I mean, I guess ultimately it can't be that bad if it's already jumping back up. This must not be doing that bad of damage on it. Join with camera. I think, Karen, we'll break it and we'll see if we can't. We'll fix it on the fly. We'll do it live. Karen, hold on one second. Karen, you got me now? Let's see. Copy solo. Okay. There we go. Karen, can you hear me? Doesn't look. Yeah. Yo. Okay, are you listening to me through the stream or can you hear me? I think he's listening through the stream. It's delayed. Okay, hold on one second. Let me see if I can figure this out. Yes, enable director's microphone. Allow.
Hello, now I can hear you.
All right, awesome.
All right, what's up?
All right, let me see if I can add the video too so you can see me. Yeah, I need to start my virtual camera, I think. Do it that way.
Sweet.
Okay, can you see me now?
Yeah, I can see you.
Awesome, fantastic. And we're just gonna hope and pray that the audio is good on the other side here. I've been digging into a whole bunch of gaming topics, and I have a lot to ask you here, Karen.
All right.
We looked at that game that you recommended. I was browsing Metacritic, and you asked everybody if they were checking out Metaphor.
Metaphor.
What's your experience with the demo? I'd love to hear about what your thoughts are.
Yeah, so I thought I originally wasn't sure what to make of the demo. So I don't play the demos because I like to keep everything kind of like everything for like the single playthrough.
Mm-hmm.
But when it was like, hey, it's like just part of the prologue and it's a save carryover. Which is always better. I was like, oh yeah, all right, I'll play like the first hour or so. First off, it was big. It felt massive, but also felt so. It left me feeling like my time on it was so short, and I wanted to spend so much time. Like it introduced like a really cool take on the class system, the job system that a lot of RPGs have, and it really it did a really great job of like setting up this world, but not making it feel too heavy, and too much heavy lifting. Not too much. It wasn't like a lot of exposition.
Mm-hmm.
It really just kind of threw you in head first. One game that I feel didn't do that as well was like Final Fantasy 16. I feel like Final Fantasy 16
right.
Gave you this work and then gave you a bunch of homework to do in terms of reading all of the lore. But I feel like Metaphor Rephantismo, it kind of was like, it has this like compendium you can review if you want more context, but you don't need it. And the writing is so well done that like you can kind of pick up context clues on what things are, so you can just kind of exist in this world. So I wasn't gonna buy it. I wasn't gonna buy the game. I was gonna be like, just play Persona 5 first, because I only got like halfway through Persona 5 back in like 2018, and I was gonna go and play through it all in its entirety, and then I was gonna do Metaphor like down the road. But the demo just got me to instantly buy it. So I'm ready. This Friday it comes out. I'm ready to pick up my save and stuff.
Awesome. Well, I think that dovetails nicely, like what stuck out to you with what I want to talk about. It kind of expanding this to a broader conversation about cinematics in gaming, right? So, I don't think it's an accident. A bunch of games popping off right now. Strong emphasis in executing cinematics, not just metaphor, but Diablo 4 just had his DLC come out yesterday. Always known for dramatic, super high performance, stunning visual, audio, every writing, concepts, like mind-blowing cinematics. The Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero is almost like a playable cinematic.
Nice.
So like beyond the story, which I feel like for people, Dragon Ball fans, when you have all these sort of characters mushed together, it's like the writing becomes a little less important and it's more about the drama, the action, the excitement. But another like visual first, same thing, remaster Silent Hill 2. I can go on and on. It seems like this week, a ton of games that feature strong cinematics are popping off right now.
Yeah.
What are some games, like series, that you would, when I talk about strong cinematics, what series pop up to you that are like, oh man, the cinematics of this series are just define a genre?
Oh man. I'll tell you what, it's funny, you mentioned Diablo, and I feel like Blizzard did such a great job of just having such a strong cinematic team. And I think Overwatch was like when they announced Overwatch, I think that was like it had so much more reach to a casual audience because of how effective and how good those cinematics were. And yeah, they're not cheap, those kind of that quality of cinematic. But and I know that it's not necessarily in game. Like I think there's a difference between like having a game that has like, especially with like live service games, often the narrative happens alongside the gameplay rather than like something like Assassin's Creed where the narrative happens within the gameplay and you kind of play that. I think it was just sort of cinematics and how that kind of interplays with a game and what that means for a game. I feel like Overwatch would not be the same game without its cinematic team, and without the narrative that kind of carries that through. So much so that it has now become like almost like every single company that tries to take part of Overwatch's share also comes out with similar cinematics. You saw like the best thing about Concord was its cinematic, but everyone was like, "Oh, this cinematic is it was so Overwatch that everyone was kind of like, it was clear, right?" But I think, to me, that's the thing that comes to my head. It's just Blizzard, their cinematic qualities and how effective it was for Overwatch, and setting those characters up and giving those characters meaning outside of the gameplay themselves. In terms of like games that had cinematics like within the games, I think I'm not really. I think I recently played through the Kingdom Hearts games. Like I've pretty much all 13 of them.
Yeah.
Over this past year, I have kind of released the past like quarter and a half. I've been like playing through all of them just to get ideas, just to get thoughts. And I think seeing the evolution of those cinematics from originally just I think what was good about Kingdom Hearts is that it was all usually all the actual gameplay cinematics are all in engine except for the openings and the ending movies, which were very like clearly cinematics done by different teams. But seeing the evolution of those cinematics have been really interesting. Even going up to Kingdom Hearts 3, where the in-engine cinematics started to get so good that like they were able to do that seamless thing where almost like they do the cinematic with the camera pans and suddenly and the bars go away and suddenly they're like in the game. So I feel that's pretty good. But Yeah, I think like cinema is becoming a part of gameplay in itself, right?
Mhm.
A lot of things as well. Like not indie games, more AAA games. I think every AAA game, it feels like when they're, especially when you get to kind of like photorealistic, realistic, like graphics, you're almost trying to make a movie and a game at the same time. In a lot of ways.
The movie within the game. Yeah.
Yeah, like you look at like Kojima, everything he's done really feels like.
That's where I was gonna go. Like when I that's my, if I was asked this question, I think the first thing I would go into is, especially from the lens of like a movie within a game. It's like Kojima is storyboarding. It's choreography, right? It's like it feels like a Hollywood production when you look at the end product, and it's versus like your Overwatch, where it feels like after the production's through the roof, but the cinematics are like almost supplemental in nature, where Kojima, it's like, you're here for this, right? It's like that's the way he approaches this stuff, is like the story, the drama that unfolds in the cinematic moments. That is a lot of the times what you're talking about, after some of his games, that gameplay that runs alongside it, but that single player experience definitely feels very Hollywood on the Kojima side. And then it's funny that you brought up Overwatch. We were just talking about Marvel Rivals coming out in December, just before that. So like another issue of like Kill the Justice League, like struggles that Marvel has had with some of its B-side content, series and movies. And this is almost like another, it's an overlapping topic, but how far does IP get you? And specifically with Marvel going into a space that is like, has seen the ups and downs of oversaturation within the space. Is IP the secret sauce that can get people to bail from Overwatch?
Yeah,
because there's gonna be killer cinematics, the visuals. Is Marvel, which a lot of people have been dogging as just like a reskinned Overwatch.
Yeah,
is that enough zhuzh to get people to let go of Overwatch? That might, maybe people are bored of it. Maybe people are tired of the title, where it's averaging something like 50K players. What is the floor? What is the ceiling for a game like Marvel Rivals?
Yeah, I think it's interesting, right? It's like IP, and again, this almost becomes like a competition of like live service games as well, because when you look at like let's put three games against each other, like Marvel Avengers, Kill the Justice League, and Marvel Rivals. So the thing that killed the Justice League was first off, it was a studio that had never done a live service game before, or anything close to it. Basically be given a blank check and be like, make this game, and these had a whole bunch of people who were like, well, we don't know how to do this, but we'll work it out. And I bet that a lot of the decisions they made, they were definitely informed by the Avengers, Marvel Avengers, that live service game that came out a couple of years before that, and saw how that it existed and then shut down, and they made decisions to try to get Kill the Justice League closer to successful live service games like Destiny, and I think overall, like, the thing that killed both those games were just expectations and studio mismatches. And then when you look at like Rivals, I think that there were no expectations around it. It was almost dropped. It almost went from like being announced to a playable closed beta almost immediately.
Which feels smart, right?
I think in this situation, Marvel Avengers basically had like 6 years of build up, and that hype and those expectations that can kill a game before it even comes out.
I think especially when it comes to there being a shaky launch, right?
Yeah.
Which Kill the Justice League is like one of the perfect examples of. It was buggy, and it created a whole bunch of memes for like AAA studio. Game is broken, unplayable. The big one that I remember, it goes to like the last chapter, like new players, and it would like instantly spoil the ending of the game. They had this like super widespread bug where people were being spoiled in the first chapter of the game. And it's like
by sharing just like rejoining a game with someone else.
No, it was a bug where it would like force you to like a cinematic late in the story mode.
Oh yeah.
And it I think when you have the hype mushed next to a sloppy technical launch, then it's just like, okay, this game is crap. And then it's just the meme game, right? It ends up becoming, less so like Gollum, where it was just like people played it because it stunk. I felt like Justice League was never that bad of a title. It just became memey because it fell on its face in its first couple weeks.
Yeah, and I think it's also like the delta between like how great Rocksteady's games were before,
right? Yeah,
Kill the Justice League, then when it came out. So I think pulling this back into just kind of like the idea of like, well, how far can IP get you with these games, and there's enough of a zhuzh. I think Marvel Rivals, I think, had like a low bar as like, kind of, is it like NetEase or something? It's like I think they kind of felt like mobile game publisher company, like maybe it's probably like pay to win or whatever. But I basically remember hearing that people wanted it to suck, and the fact is that when they ended up to play it played better than they expected it to. It's a lot easier to sort of try a game when you ask someone about it and they're like, it's better than I expected, compared to people being like, I expected more. Like,
right.
even if like I expected more brings it down here to like an 8, and better than I expected to take it from a 6 to a 7, you'll still try the 7 out of 10 game in that sense than the 8 out of 10. So, and it being free to play to start with also probably helps as well, right? So, I think then it becomes a thing of like, well, do you want to play in this world that's of these IP characters like Tracer and Widowmaker, or do you want to play with like Spider-Man and that kind of stuff? And I think it also helped that like the Overwatch crowd was looking for something new because they felt burned from the Overwatch 2.
Yep. It feels stale at this point. It's like you get that weird combination of the genre feeling oversaturated. Conquered isn't exactly the same. That's more Valorant type, but like people mention it in the same breath as these 5v5 shooters. This being a third person, much more closer like objective style, Team Fortress, Overwatch style gameplay, but feels like you're eliminating so many variables, because I felt like the distance to a good game is so much easier to achieve within this space. And then you add the variable of like, here's this IP that people are super interested in, and there's already a base of a game that is so wildly similar that the sentiment is that people are tired of it. So it is like, could they just come in and just kick Overwatch off, that day one they lose 40 of their 50k players, plus all the hype that they're able to generate on their own, being a Marvel title. And from what I could see during the beta period, people really liked it. People seemed super, super into it, and not in the like, I like Kill the Justice League because I'm being paid to say it type of way. So I think it's got some, I think it should have some legs. I think a third party like viewer of this is like, well, of course, they have all this money to spend. I'm sure it'll get promoted to death. but I'm really interested to see how much of its success is predicated on claiming market share and stealing a player base that is already so well established.
Yeah, I think it's a lot easier to take for live service games. It's a lot easier to take market share from somebody else than it is to create market share from whole cloth. And I think as easy as it is to take from Overwatch 2, I think as well Overwatch 2 can take that back. They actually just got to invest in make changes. But yeah, there is an opportunity here to basically be like, hey, you're sick of Overwatch 2, so we come play this because the delta to learn it is not as bad. Third person, you brought up third person as well, and third person shooting is also interesting, right? Because that was like not very popular for a really long time.
Yep.
I think Fortnite has come around and brought back third person shooting.
Yep. You've seen so many successes since then, right? Yeah. That your Helldivers, right? See the parallels there with third person and like kind of out of nowhere studio in their live service pursuit, right? So like Helldivers is a great example of like Kill the Justice League gone right.
Yeah.
And like we're a live service game, but it's more like live service Dungeons and Dragons, like large scale. We're all in this together, enjoying a story that changes every couple of weeks. And so I feel like Helldivers is a much more apt comparison to Kill the Justice League, but does dovetail nice with other third persons kind of being in vogue now.
Yeah, it's hard with like something like Kill the Justice League because the story is like almost like it's a single player story in a live service game, and that doesn't help as well, but it also makes sense because of what the studio is. Like in the comparison of like Kill the Justice League and like Helldivers 2 is like Helldivers 2 is thematically bound to like an online multiplayer community. It's you are supposed to be like one of the million thrown into the meat grinder, the galactic meat grinder, and like that is how the whole game is kind of built out. And that's like Helldivers 1 is like a top-down kind of version of that. And all they did was like the story and all that kind of stuff works. And this like Star Troopers kind of inspired world. But let's take a big swing, go third party and third person, and let's so it was like, all right, cool. Here's like $100 million, go do it. So we think it's like we think that studio. What's the name of the Helldivers studio?
Arrowhead.
Arrowhead. Arrowhead's like been around. They did like Magica, I think, or they did like the one with like, the 4 like so, and that was like a pretty big popular game. Like I think so they're like I call them like probably not really indie studio, more like a AA studio, but like they had a formula and they built off it. But it's the whole point is like the story lends itself and the themes lend itself to a live service game and an ongoing thing. You talk about like Kill the Justice League. It very much has like a beginning and an end. And then after that, it's like, and then it just kind of keeps going. Like people who I knew, I had friends who were like, I played Kill the Justice League, and I just love DC, so I just kept playing it. So I just finished it, and then they finished it, and they're like, now I just like, it's just kind of like the story's over, and the character arcs have kind of, and Harley's character arc, I think it had resolved itself and stuff, but then it just kind of continues to exist. And that's the worst kind of live service games.
Right. Just kind of like keep playing in the sandbox because, right? Why?
And you can't really do that, particularly if you don't have PvP, because I think PvP games create their own emergent narrative. Like if you're talking about you can talk to a Fortnite player, and you're like, Fortnite has no story, or it has a really weak story. They're kind of like, that's not the story I care about. I care about that story of me as a player, about how I sucked and now I'm good, and how I won last night, and I duoed with my friend, and we had this funny thing happen, and that's like the emergent storytelling kind of quality of that, not the curated
Mhm.
storytelling that the game provides. The game simply is giving you a vehicle to create your own story in that way, right?
Yeah, just organically how you experience the game with your friends.
Yeah. So you can't. I think the thing is that when you take that away, like when you try to think of it in like, well, if the storytelling essentially is like run out with like Kill the Justice League, and you've hit a meaningful conclusion, then you want to have a live service immersive storytelling. Like what's that look like, right? Does it like be like, oh, me and my friend, we kind of like we're playing Kill the Justice League last night, and we got given the mission to go protect this civilian, and I'll tell you what, we didn't protect him. It's kind of like what's the emergent story right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like the advantage, and I think that's also an interesting thing, right? Because I think Kill the Justice League and Marvel Avengers did not have PvP, and I don't think you need PvP to like have a live service game, but there are some I think with like Helldivers, it being PvE, it has an overarching narrative, but because the narrative is built in that way, by comparison, yeah,
which just pulled up right now. The critic score for Kill the Justice League was a 60, and then the user score is 3.4.
Yeah.
Tragic. I think a lot to pull apart there, and I think also some overlap that I wanted to have in a conversation with Chris. Helldivers, you touched on it. One of the unique elements of it, of like failure being part of it. Like, yep, you're just a nameless, like barely even a number, right? Yeah. It's like, okay, churn through 20 nameless people as you try to kill all these bugs. Yeah. And as like failure being like not this thing that you need to avoid at all costs, but it's just something that you need to get comfortable with. And seeing that in a lot of games now, I'm going to see if I can't get Chris into a call on Friday. I know you got to run, Karen, to your next call, so we'll let you go as we wrap up the stream. So thank you for joining us. And then I'm hoping maybe I can get both you and a Chris on call Friday. We'll see if we can't schedule that to make it work. And if not, I'm going to get on your schedule nice and early so we can continue some of these conversations in our streams next week.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. Yeah. Karen, thank you for joining us. Yeah.
I will say, check out the Nintendo Alarmo if you have not yet.
What was that? Nintendo what?
Alarmo. Just alarm with an O on the end.
Alarmo. Oh, yeah.
It got announced today.
I just saw that on Reddit. Like, we got the Nintendo alarm clock before we got GTA 6.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thanks, Karen. Take it easy.
Yeah. Bye.
Awesome. What an awesome visitor on the stream. Karen, bringing the juice. Karen and Chris, we're going to see what we can't do, Simone. I know that I got to get you and Rachel in for a horror conversation. We have to talk about The Substance. And I feel like there's a lot of news in the movie space, particularly in horror. So I definitely want to make sure I can get you guys in on the same call. But I'd love to have Karen and Chris in for a gaming call. We'll see if we can't make that happen on Friday. I want to thank you guys for chilling with me today, keeping me company in the chat, helping me through my dailies. Hopefully we learned some stuff, new games coming out, talk about some themes and cinematics, and some overlap in GSG perspective on writing in games, how that's represented in cinematics, intellectual property, game launches, a whole lot more to talk about. I feel like we only just began unpacking in some of these interesting topics. Can't wait to be on your show, Simone. The best. I'm super excited. I'll try to prepare a list of topics. Maybe we can bounce a few back and forth, and we'll see if we can't line you guys up for a call. And we can have it out on stream sometime next week. So thank you, Simone, Shawib, Max, anybody else in the chat. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us today. And that's going to do it for our stream. We started a little bit late. We're ending a little bit late. And we're going to share some news about the following streams. We plan on streaming at noon on Friday, and hopefully we'll have Monday, Wednesday, Friday going strong next week. We'll share the schedule as soon as it's available. And we're going to turn up the music and send you out in some positive vibes, guys. Thanks again for chilling with me. And we will see you on Friday.